Good morning to all my students. A very hearty welcome to my channel and very hearty welcome to your computer class. I hope your half yearly exams went well and you really did well in your exams. So now we have started with our second half of the year, that is our second semester. So in the second half of the year we are going to see basically two important chapters, that is one is your library modules in Python and the other is networking. So we will start with library modules, and today I'm just going to give you a short introduction about how Python libraries are used. So let's move on. So today we are going to see Python libraries. What are Python libraries? Now, when we talk about library, something pops in our mind like a collection. It can be a collection of books, CDs, DVDs, etc. So it is a collection of something, right? So here also in Python, we have a huge library, and we can have a library consisting of different shelves, and each shelf can contain a different group of various methods. So different types of methods can be categorized under different types of these shelves, and each of these shelves forms a module. You can just imagine module to be like a shelf in your cupboard which contains a lot of different methods, small files or methods. These methods are actually small functions which we can use in our program for performing different tasks. So Python library, they consist of different types of modules. Some modules which were, now these modules are created by third party people. There are many people who are creating modules and they are uploading them, and if you need those modules, all you have to do is just download the module, install it on your PC and use it. Some standard modules which Python provides us is, we have seen math module, which consists of mostly all the mathematical functions. We have the C math module, which consists of all functions which work with complex numbers. So I'll just write it properly. So we have various modules, like one is the math module. Why is the math module used for? It is used for all mathematical operations and methods. Next is CMath module, which is used for all complex number operations. Then you have other modules like pickle module, then which is basically used for working on your binary files. You have also studied the CSV module, which is used for working on CSV, that is comma separated value files. Then we have something known as the random module, which is used for working with random number generation. Then you have the NumPy module, which is used for numerical Python operations. Okay, and also working with arrays. And then you have something known as SciPy, scientific Python, which provides again some operations, some mathematical operations which are basically used for scientific applications. You have the tkinter module, which is basically used for creating GUI based interfaces. So these are different types of, and not only these, there are many more. The list is endless. So many such modules are provided by Python, which enable us to perform a whole lot of different varieties of operations. Okay, we can perform a wide range of operations because of these modules. Now the question arises, what is a module? Now when we talk about a module, you can say it is a collection of functions, doc strings, variables and constants, classes, objects, data members, named labels and identifiers, statements. So a module is a collection of all these things. These things enable us to perform a different variety of operations or functions. Okay, so module is something which contains all these things. It basically helps in organizing our work. So we can organize different things, we can organize different functions, different statements, or functions performing work on or a similar type of work or related work together in the form of one file. And hence it helps in organizing, and not only that, it also helps in the reuse of code. Once written, it need not be rewritten again. It can be reused multiple times, and it also can be used for accepting input and providing output. So modules can accept input also, and they can provide some output also. Right. So this is what is the function of a module. So modules are imported in your program, and those modules are executed completely, and its functionalities are added or linked to your program so that certain tasks can be accomplished without having the need to rewrite the code from scratch. For example, you want to find the square root. So you will import the math module, and using the math module, you within the math module you can easily use the math.sqrt function for calculating the square root of any number. So in this way, what you did, you just used this function. You did not rewrite the code somewhere. Okay, you did not again write the code, right? So this is the work of a module. So we will create a simple module, and we will try to understand what are its different parts or how it works. So the module which we are going to create, that module would be basically related to calculation of simple interest and compound interest. So we will basically be concentrating on these two things in creating a simple module. So today I will be explaining only this, like what all things, how module are actually implemented. We will be seeing in the later parts of the chapter. Today we will be concentrating mainly on what are the content of your module. So now my module is going to contain two important functions which are used for calculation of simple interest and compound interest, and it will also contain a variable, that is it will also contain a named identifier, that is rate of interest. So I'm just going to write rate of interest in a particular way. Sorry. So I'm going to provide a default rate of interest which is going to be 12.5, and I'm also going to provide a default time period which should be 4 years. So these are the two, you can say these are two identifiers, or we can also say they are constants, which my uh, program is providing. Okay. So now, right now, rate of interest, now this can change, but I have just provided just an example which I have provided. Suppose for a long period of time, the rate of interest is going to stay 12.5 and time period is going to stay 4. So I am going to use that over here. Okay, so now let us start with creating this. So for this, you should remember, you should know that modules are nothing but they are simple Python programs which are saved with the extension .py. So we will start with creating a simple Python program. So I'll use Control N to create a new file, and I'm going to save it. So because I'm going to make it into a Python module, so that's why I would be saving it in a particular location. So I'll be saving it under a separate header, and that is Python user defined modules. So here I'm going to create this module, and I'm going to save this program here by the name interest. That's it. .py. So the name of my Python module is simply interest.py. So here we are. So I'm going to just give a comment line, interest.py, and I'm going to start a doc string here which starts with 3 double quotes or 3 triple quotes, and I'm just going to type here this module helps in calculating simple and compound interest. Now we will start with our functions. So we will be having two functions. One is simple interest, and which takes three values. So we are just going to provide those three values. That is, one is principal, one is rate, and one is time. So here I'm just going to provide another doc string which would contain the value which is being returned. So this returns simple interest calculated from PRT. So it returns the simple interest which is calculated from PR and T. And how do we return it? Simply return P into R into T divided by 100. And another one is compound interest, which is again accepting PR and T, and here it returns compound interest calculated from PR and T, and we'll just type it. So this is the compound interest which is being returned, and some constants, that is I'm just taking over here rate of interest, which is say 12.5, and time period say 4 years. So these are the two constants which I have taken, and I'll be describing them also. The minimum time period. So this is it. So we have created a simple module. Module is very simple. It can contain, it completely depends upon the designer of the module, what the user is going to design. So here you can very easily see that we have many things. The first one is the name of the module. Then next one is the doc string, which is very important. Document, when it comes to module creating modules, internal documentation of the modules is very important. You need to describe each and everything which you are using there. Then there are two functions which are taking up three compulsory arguments. If you want, you can also change them into optional arguments. So this returns, so here what you can do is, here I can also turn them into optional arguments by accepting rate of interest and time period. So if suppose the user doesn't enter the values, so my module will automatically use rate of interest and time period. So all we need to do is just provide this value. So rate of interest and time period is provided, and this is how simple interest is to be calculated. And here you can easily see that we have this compound interest and simple interest calculated. The doc string specifies what value is returned from this, and these are the constants which are specified over here. In reality, your module can be even more complicated than this. It can contain a whole variety, a plethora of different functions, classes, objects, constants, other specifications, and it could be as simple as this also. So if you have already created a program which you feel that you would be needing it somewhere else, you can convert this into the form of a module, and you can use it. Now this thing won't be executing if on its own, because it would be executing only when we make it into a module and we import it in our program. So that we would be discussing slowly in our next class. In the meantime, I will just tell you how this would be imported in your program. So in your program, you will import it as a simple statement like import interest, which is the name of my module. And then if I have to use the simple interest, I can write equals. Now to use the function simple interest, I will have to use this interest first dot simple interest, and I can pass the values here. So these are the values which I passed. So you can easily see that this is the name of my module, and which is used along with a period sign to call this function, that is simple interest. If I want, I can also write import interest as I. So in that case, instead of typing the whole thing, that is interest dot simple interest, I can also simply write, just a second, I can also simply write I dot simple interest. So I can simply use this I. And I can also write from interest import simple interest. So now in this case, I have from this module, I have imported only simple interest. So in my program, I can simply use this simple interest without any qualifier name, without any namespace, and I can simply pass values to it. So this is how I would be using my user defined module and other predefined modules also in my program. So more in the coming days we will be seeing. Today that's all in the class. Thank you.